Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's lesson. Today, we're going to continue with rules to remember. This is part 3. I'm Mrs. Swart, and I'll be guiding you through today's lesson. I want you to try and remember what we have already learned, but you can always go back and have a look at the recordings and catch up and make sure you remember what it was about. I'm going to continue with the rest of the lessons. I want you to remember that when we think of a part of a thing or things, and oh my goodness, please don't write in your essays about things, but it's just about the easiest way to explain this. Don't write about things or stuff, rather about entities, objects, items. But I think for this lesson, it's going to be much easier to just tell you about things or something. So for part of one object, remember now it's part of one object, then we use a singular verb. We look at the hamburger. Half of the hamburger has been eaten, it's singular. We think of water or food. 3/4 of the water has been spilt, and some of the food is spoiled. So here we're considering it as one object or one item. If we look at it as many, part of many, for instance, we have the sandwiches, and you see there's a whole plate of sandwiches. Then we're going to look at it and we're going to use the plural verb. So half of the sandwiches have been eaten because it's plural, they have. 3/4 of the boys have stayed at home, and some of the children are tired. I want you to please just also let's acknowledge one of the main sources with the rules to remember, which is the Old English in Action, which you no longer get. Fantastic book if you can get hold of it, especially the Old Standard 7 book. Wonderful information in it. Then when we look at sums, and this is your maths, guys, 1 plus 1. Now, what do we usually say? 25 plus 20 is 45. Or we would say 3 times 200 makes 600. So you can use any of these. You can say it is, it equals, or it makes. If you look at the last one, 60 divided by 10 equals, or it makes, or it is 6. So remember that when you are speaking about your sums, that is how you should be mentioning the equals or the total that you're going to get at the end. Then synonyms. Sounds like something we could eat. Synonyms are words with a similar or the same meaning. For instance, you could say someone is fat, or you could rather say they are plump. If someone is sad, they're unhappy. And there are a lot of others that you can also use. An antonym is the opposite in meaning. And here we have two. One guy is tall, one of the monkeys here is tall, and one is a short monkey. But at least they seem to be friendly towards each other. You can go and you can practice all of these synonyms and antonyms. Remember, synonym, similar. Antonym, opposite, or if you think antonym, anti. Anti is usually opposite, and that will help you to remember that the one's a synonym and the one's an antonym. The one is similar, the synonym similar, antonym anti, opposite. I hope it helps you to remember it much better. A paronym, this is a word which is derived from another and it is linked to the meaning. But there's a trick to it. Though it might be linked to it, it isn't exactly the same meaning and it cannot be used in the same way or in the same place. So they may share a root word, but they cannot replace one another. And the best source and the best example to use is wise and wisdom, because wisdom is a paronym of wise. It is derived from wise. It comes from wise, might be the easiest way. But you will see there, I've shown you very clearly here. There you are. It is not equal to wise or wisdom. They're not equal to one another. For instance, if I were to use the next sentence, I would say, I wish for the wisdom of Solomon. And that's the correct use. But I cannot say, I wish for the wise of Solomon, it makes no sense whatsoever. So please be very careful about what you do and how you use them. Homonyms. Homo means one sound. Now look at this. A homonym has the same spelling and sound, but what do they have? They have a different meaning. So look at this and remember this. Don't get yourself confused. Remember this one. We have the same spelling and the same sound, but a different meaning. So be very careful that if you have words that aren't pronounced the same, they cannot be homonyms. We have branch as an example. And here we have the branch of a tree compared to a branch of the bank. You often find that there's one big bank and then there are a whole lot of smaller banks all over the show. Think of a bank maybe like Standard Bank, Absa Bank, any of those banks, First National, any of those banks, they often only have a branch. In other words, it's just a small part of the same bank. But you'll notice that the word is pronounced the same, although the meaning is different. So we have same spelling, same sound, different meaning. Homophones, one sound. So they sound the same. And we also see they have a different spelling and a different meaning. So remember the homonyms was the same sound and the same spelling. Yeah, we have homophones, the same sound. There we have it. Okay. We have different spelling and different meaning. See, S-E-E, that is to see with our eyes. S-E-A is the sea that you can go and swim in and that you can go and visit and you can go and lie on the beach and have a wonderful time. So remember the difference. And please, if you need to write sentences to show that you understand the meaning, you cannot just simply use the word in a sentence that doesn't make sense. Make sure that it's clear to the examiner that you understand what see with your eyes is. I can see clearly because I am wearing my glasses. And the see, when we say S-E-A, then something simple like, it is lovely to go to the sea because I can swim in the sea. And then we'll know that it's not the same sea that you are looking with because you can't swim in that one. Okay, so let's look. You are going to do your quiz, and we need to make sure that you get this right. Practice makes perfect, everyone. I want you to click on the link below to complete the exercise that I've supplied. And if you can't click on the link, please go to the QR code. And I'm really looking forward to seeing exactly how you do. Make sure that the notes that you've taken in between or when you get a chance to go back to the lesson will assist you that you get this right. Good luck, and I hope you enjoy the quiz and keep safe. Thank you.